Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? When you look back and you think about all this time that you spent trying to make other people happy, your father particularly, like, it just doesn't work. Why do you think that? I'm going to ask this in the right way because I want it to be beneficial to people. Why do you think that you did that? And what do you think became the real turning point for you to recognize, actually, I need to do this stuff because I choose to?
Yeah. So one thing I think the reason why we do it is ultimately where does our first love of a relationship come from? It comes from our mom or it comes from dad. It comes from that relationship because that's what we are brought into this world knowing or starting to learn to understand. Okay. So when we experience love, even or what we feel should be love, the desire to survive, right? Okay. Because as children, as a baby, we don't know that we need food to survive. Okay. Even though we cry for it. Okay. But at some point in time, we feel the feeling of somebody holding us, the embrace, the warmth. Okay. When we're hurt, when we scrape our knee. And so we go through and those things at ages that we don't even know how to process yet. An infant firstborn doesn't know it's hungry and that's why it's crying, but what ends up happening, whether it's the holding of the bottle or the breastfeeding, there's an embrace there. And the reason why that is because in the womb, you're coddled in the room. Okay. And so we're learning or we're longing for that same embrace once we're born, even though we can't process that information. Right. So we're looking for that love. And when it's not given to us, okay, then we're trying to start doing things to make that individual happy so they will return the love that we once felt to us because we don't know even at your young age when being born to a drug addict mother, you don't know that you weren't being loved because you couldn't process what love was at that time. As you got older, you're able to start reasoning things because then our mind starts to develop. But to begin with, even the warmth of being in a womb feels love to us, where it's internally developed, from the very start of conception. So, and then that's what I believe, anyways. Okay, and so then we're looking for it and we're looking for that same feeling and but we're also looking for a safe place. And to kind of like make a little twist on this to your question is, ultimately men, why do we hold in so much? Because in our generation, you and I, we're told that we couldn't express our feelings. You can't cry. You can't do these things, and all we're trying to do is to express, you know? And so then it becomes back full circle to where I don't get to express how I truly feel. And because of the expression, every time we start to we start to shade a different color of what love really is. Now we are just looking for some sort of will you just listen to me? That's love. Will you just allow me to talk? That becomes love. Will you because now we've gone away from the I'm holding you aspect. I am buying you gifts aspect, or I am telling you love. We're just looking for something that makes us feel validated in the way that we're processing or living at that moment. And then ultimately we're looking for that. Okay. And this is very, I notice this in terms of in my coaching, you see this a lot in women. Okay. And this isn't to single out that men don't have this issue, but when women hear the right words from a male, okay, it doesn't take much to trigger them to be sexually open. It really doesn't. Okay. Not saying that somebody's, promiscuous or anything like that, but ultimately it's a longing for something that they don't have currently or didn't have. And that's why you will see people jump from a relationship to a relationship, including males. Okay. Because we're ultimately looking for something that we didn't have. When I didn't have the father figure, I would go to other males looking for them to be a father figure to me because I couldn't get it where I thought I should have, where I once did. And so I was hoping to get it from somebody else. But to answer your question, ultimately, It all has to come from the internal self of I love me the way I am. Doesn't matter what other people say. And it's hard for a lot of people to come to that realization. And honestly, Michael, I didn't start experiencing that until after my wife died. And I struggled with even feeling like I was attractive enough to go out and seek the opposite sex to go look for a new girlfriend or new fiance or new wife or whatever the case is, because I didn't have the internalness of feeling secure because I was put down so much as a younger kid. And I never had those things that I wanted affirmed.